Welcome to Courtside Moms. I'm your host, Wendy Sparks. Today, I welcome back a familiar mom that you all know and love, Sue Danforth, mother of Fred VanVleet of the Toronto Raptors. We have a lot to talk about, so let's get to it. So Sue, welcome back to Courtside Moms. I'm so excited to have you on the show again. You are such an amazing friend.
Oh, thank you. And I feel the same about you. And I am so glad since the last time we talked that we're on the same team now.
Yeah, that's it. I was just about to say, I love now that we are both Raptors moms.
Me too. I love it.
So let's dive right in. Tell me, what do you think now of our Raptors?
I think that we're going to be just fine. I think that they are finding chemistry and that someone like amazes me differently each game. Mm-hmm. And I'm excited for just to see how it all plays out.
Yeah. I love how you say that, how somebody amazes you each game. And it's true because they're new players. So they're developing on their own and you just don't know what you're going to get from game to game because we just started the season. So I love that you said that.
Yeah. And we're playing every other day.
Yeah.
There's still so many things, rhythms for people to get into. Mm-hmm. There's only so many minutes to go around. And, I'm excited. I really am.
Yeah, me too. And what I love is that they're so hungry to win.
Yes.
Yeah. And you can see that when they play, whether we're in the arena or whether we're watching it on TV. Yeah. For me, I recognize that hunger, that passion. You know what I mean? You see them just diving right into it. So I just love it. I'm so blessed to be a Raptors mom.
And, I really love it because it's like it's a brand new team. So there's not a lot of scouting on anyone. Yeah. So on any given night, someone is going to have a big night just because you can't plan for a team that you don't know anything about.
Good point. So many changes have happened since your last episode. So COVID hit and the basketball world changed. Yes. The Raptors had a huge adjustment to make as they were the only team that had to be displaced outside of their country in order to play due to, of course, the U.S. and Canada travel restrictions. So from living in Canada, where he had snow in his backyard for a few months out of the year, to living in Tampa, where he had alligators in his backyard. Right? How did Fred adjust to the Raptors' temporary move to Tampa?
I think they adjusted easily because who doesn't like warm weather?
Yeah.
Right. So that part was okay. It just was really a hard year because you didn't have a real fan base. And in the beginning, even your family couldn't go. And then only your family could go.
Yeah.
And then it was kind of weird to cheer. Because you're the only people that you're only cheering for one side and you're super I'm a loud person anyway. So it was really loud because it was so quiet in there. So then it was just really weird.
Yeah. When I came in April, I found it weird too.
Yeah.
I sat inside, you know what I mean? And I'm looking around and I'm like, what? This is so different. It was like an AAU tournament.
Yes, it totally was.
You know what I mean?
All fans, in the beginning, right? When you would just roll up with your kid and you didn't really know anyone and you just play and it was kind of like that. And then you could only get to know the people around you.
Yeah.
And they had us all so spread out.
Yeah, that's true. I'm just so blessed.
I didn't know that other family members were there.
Yeah.
Because we were so spread out.
Yeah, I wished that we would have been in the same section, even if we're spread out, but at least in the same section. Because it's true, there's a lot of families I did not know that were even there until after the fact when I saw them roaming in the hotel. I'm like, so.
Right, and by that time, Fred had a house, so I didn't even get that opportunity to meet anyone's parents.
Yes.
Or moms because then you're just ushered out right after the game.
Yes. No, I remember when I was there and you told me that you were already home. So
Yep.
so let's talk about the Tampa Raptors.
Oh, man.
What was that like for you to see that jersey? For me, it was weird.
It was really weird. It
Yeah.
was weird. I still have my little Tampa t-shirt that they had made, and it was just really it was just different. Like, I don't think that people understand how fun Toronto is
Yeah.
because it's the only basketball team.
Yeah. That's right.
So everyone is rooting for the Raptors.
Yeah.
And then to go to a place where they're booing you in your own stadium when you can have fans,
Yeah.
it's not your fan base. It was really, really hard.
Yeah, I found that hard too. And I noticed that too, that when we went, there were more people from the opposing teams that were there as opposed to us. And again, no disrespect to Tampa, because to me, the fans came out. Absolutely. It was just weird for us where we were like, we need Raptors fans. And for me, this was my first experience as a Raptors mom here sitting in Tampa, right?
Yeah.
I had already been to Scotiabank Arena playing against Raptors, but I was there, so I knew exactly. So when I get to Tampa, I'm like, oh, that lady screaming must be Sue. Yeah. But thank God that's over now. So yeah, to me, thanks Tampa for everything they've done. We're back home now.
Absolutely. They did the best that they could.
Yeah.
The situation, and they really tried to make them feel at home.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, that is so true.
And I'm thankful that they opened themselves up for them and gave them a second home.
Absolutely. I mean, for me, I had never been there, so it was nice just to go there, and the hospitality and everything else was just great to see. You know what I mean? Different people and stuff like that. So to me, looking at the Tampa Raptor jersey was weird, but at the same time, it was pretty cool. You know what I mean? I'm looking, I was like, oh, there's a palm tree on it. I was like, okay, this is different, but So Fred mentioned that he didn't realize how much he missed Toronto until he actually came back. So what about our beautiful country of Canada and amazing city of Toronto do you think he finds appealing?
Oh, gosh. The people, everyone is so kind, the stores, the food. I think it's all of those things combined.
Yeah.
It's such a beautiful city. The restaurants, there's so many different choices. And then everyone is just so nice. I remember like Joe and I were sitting getting a COVID test before we came back home. And we're all sitting there waiting for results with like 5 other people. And they just strike up conversation. And me and him looked at each other like, this would never happen at home.
We're nice. Canadian people are very nice.
Yeah.
So what is it like going to a restaurant then with Fred? Do you have people coming up to you guys? Do you have to sneak in the back? Do you have to crawl under tables?
Now it's so weird.
Yeah,
it's weird. It's different. But everyone is so super accommodating for him.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it's just weird to see people's reaction to your kid. It's like, that's oh, look at you, like, wow.
Yeah, that's so true.
I don't know if I'll get used to that.
You know what? I don't think, me neither. I don't think we will. You know what I mean? It's like, I went to a restaurant with Khem and his family. It was so funny. We walked in and right away, of course, people were hoarding. So we're like, do you think that we can get somewhere private where we can have a little corner? And they're like, okay. And just the stares and the looks and everybody's just like, I just want to ask. I just wait. So I laugh all the time and I'm like, wow, people want to come up to you. They respect the family, but there's always people that will just, do you mind? Do you mind? And I laughed. And one day I said to Cam, just say no. And I'll offer them mine and see what happens. Do the same. Just say, when they say, Fred, can I have An autograph. Just say, no. Here, Susan Danforth. Just give it to them. See what happens.
They don't.
Yeah. See what happens. Let me know.
Well, you try it first, and then I'll try it.
Yeah. We'll go to the restaurant 11.
Yeah.
And we'll see what happens. So the return to Canada finally happened, and our boys are now playing in their arena.
Yes.
How do you feel now being back at the Scotiabank Arena amongst the energy and the fun that we missed?
So fun. It was so fun. It was so exciting. And I was nervous, and I don't even get nervous, and I don't know why I was nervous. But just for the excitement and the buzz in the building and the energy that everyone brought, I know that they appreciated that so much, especially for the guys that had spent time in Tampa. Like that, it's a big deal. Like that first game was totally like a playoff atmosphere with the fan base, and everyone was so excited, and it was just it was fun.
Right. Okay. So now we're talking about, okay, I love this. So let's talk about opening night of our regular season. I think it was Wednesday, October 20th. Like that date is like in my brain. So we were both at that game.
We were.
So what was memorable for you about that particular night?
Just sitting there and watching them take the floor and knowing how excited he was to be back in Toronto, playing in front of their own fan base. And it was a sold out crowd, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It was fantastic. I mean, I remember on the Jumbotron, it began with this young lady who recited her spoken word. It showed messages from the fans.
Yeah.
The crowd was cheering like louder than ever before. Yes. I mean, off the barometer. It was insane.
Like they were totally making up for that whole time that they lost. And like you could just feel the excitement in everyone because everyone was so happy to be back.
Yeah.
We were so happy.
Remember we were given the t-shirts that said we back. Yeah. Cardinal official, he performed. But just before that, Fred came out and gave his speech. What was that like for you to see him deliver his message to thousands and thousands of fans that ended with, "Let's get it"?
Yeah. I was trying not to cry because I was just so, I mean, it's just, there were so many things that they had to overcome in Tampa, and to be back in that moment in front of the fans. And I just felt so much pride, and I was so proud of him in that moment that it was really overwhelming. And then again, you just kind of like pinch yourself, like, that's my kid up there.
Yeah. You'll never get used to that.
Nope.
So again, so much movement has happened since last season with the return and then the new addition to the roster, of course, like the new group of guys. Fred has since moved into more of a leadership role. So how, in your opinion, has he mentally prepared himself for all of this?
He's always been a leader.
Mm-hmm.
So it really was just kind of like it was like the changing of the guard, but he's always been prepared for it. And he's always been vocal and outspoken amongst the group. And now, good, bad, or ugly, it's all on him now. And he's kind of like, he's that guy to do that anyway. So for him, it was just a natural step. Yeah. And then as his mom, I just like, okay, we have to really make sure that we stay connected. Like if it gets, if you guys hit a rough patch, like, okay, I need to like do a pulse check and see how you're feeling.
Yeah. And I love that because irregardless for us, we're always mom.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, right. And let's face it, like they've won and they've lost. Mm-hmm. And the comments on the losses, some of them are pretty brutal.
Yeah.
And so you just have to phase all that out. Like just remind myself, like, really like, okay, really, okay. Did you like watch the same game I watched? Because
Yeah.
okay, but it is what it is, right?
You know what? It's always the non-basketball players. And what I did the other day, I don't know why I looked. I just did because you know what? I know why. I'm nosy. So
I find out a lot.
yeah.
And I keep like, I don't know about you, but I keep like a mental check
Mhm.
because I'm going to run into some of these people at some point. Like,
Yes. I'd be like, are you something handle on IG? Yeah, come here. And someone was just going in on the team. And I was like, what is this person's problem? So I actually went and looked at their profile, and then I went and looked at their comments. And then I just noticed they going in on everybody.
yes. Like,
So
how
that,
am I really that unhappy about sports?
yeah. So then I thought about it, I'm like, oh, well, then who cares? Like, it didn't bother me anymore, the things that this person was saying about the players, because I was like you said, he's just unhappy about sports and about everything. I was like, wow, like every team, every player was something negative. So at this point, I was like, I don't care. But you know what I mean? Our players, I think they can handle, you can handle criticism.
Correct.
But sometimes people take it too far.
Way too far. Yes.
Yeah. And I keep thinking I need to start opening some alias handles and replying. No, I won't.
Okay, so I guess a rule of thumb is if we're ever out and it's in the evening and we've had drinks, someone needs to take our phones.
Yes.
We might have a few aliases.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what we're gonna have to do. So what is it like spending time off the court with Fred? What is he like? Tell us, who is Fred VanVleet? Not the player, but just the son.
The son. He's a dad. He's a wonderful dad. He's sometimes he's really chill. Like, we just really like chill out. We'll like maybe binge watch a movie, or I'll just hang out and talk his ear off while he's playing video games, and he just kind of entertains me.
Yeah.
Or we sit around and we play with the kids and just hang out.
Don't you love that human side?
Yes.
Of our kids, you know what I mean? Like, it's funny, this is the first time in a long time that when I came to Toronto a few days ago, and I was just hanging out with Khem after the game, and it felt like mom and son. It didn't feel like the mom who came to see the player. You know what I mean? Correct. It was like, and we literally just sat there and chilled, and it was so different because it was so quiet. And it hadn't been like that in so long. There was always running, okay, and I have to go here and the game, and it was just after the game, and it was just us. And I was like, wow, I like you. Like, you know.
I was up there for like 10 days.
Yeah.
We were a 10-day stretch, and I got to just spend like total downtime with him. And it was very chill, and I was like, oh, you miss that.
Yeah. I mean, our kids are in the public eye, right? So for them to get peace, and I don't think people understand that, you know what I mean? Sometimes they just want to say no, and it's not to be rude, but you imagine everywhere you go, someone's following you, or they're talking to you, or they're taking pictures of you, or they're running up on you or something. And you just, as human, you just want that downtime sometimes. Mm-hmm. And it is tough. And you really have to be mentally tough to be, you know what I mean, in the public eye. And so I feel for our boys sometimes. Like, when I speak to Khem, I'm like, you got to be careful when you're walking down the street. You got to be careful when you're going to certain areas. You have to be careful because it is what it is. And our boys, I mean, they grew up humble, and they're just like, whatever. Until, you know what I mean? Until someone's running up on them, and then it's a different story. So.
Right. Yeah.
What is it like for you being a Raptor mom?
It's fun. I miss, like this year we don't have the family room.
Yeah.
So I miss that, only because it gives you get a real opportunity to meet the family members of the players. Yes. And talk and see each other. And so without that, you don't have it as much.
Mm-hmm.
There's not that, like, Malachi's mom was there, and I had, and she was even in Tampa, and I never got the opportunity to meet her because those things aren't there.
Right.
Right. And I'm sure other players' parents have been there.
Well, I think we have to make a calling to all the Raptors moms out there and tell them Sue and Wendy want to meet you. Yes.
Right.
I had the awesome pleasure of running into Christy, Malachi's mom, but it wasn't in Tampa. It was actually the Summer League.
Yeah, and that was a really cute story.
Yes.
When she was on your podcast, I'm like, oh my gosh, he looks just like his mom. And you said the same thing to her.
Mm-hmm. Yep. That's why I ran up to her and I'm like, are you Malachi's mom? And she's like, yes. I was like, oh, perfect. There you are. Yeah. There you.
I don't know which side are you coming from? Like,
I'm like, where have you been? Yeah. But so this is what we need to do, because you're right. It's, as moms or as families, I do believe that there should be some sort of, like, we need to unite, and it would be nice if we can get together. Because I too miss the family room. I miss getting to know people and getting to know the families. And you know what I mean? When the players come in after the game, it's nice to see them just as people.
Right, exactly.
You know what I mean? After they've played that hard game, you know what I mean? It's nice. For me, I like being a Raptors, love being a Raptors mom. And I love engaging with the fans, like on Twitter.
I noticed the games. I'm like, look at Wendy.
You know what? They're amazing. They are amazing. I'd start tagging you, and we just need to get, you know what I mean? Because this is what we have right now. This is what we have, right? We can't meet in person. It's what we got. So let's work on that.
Yep.
Let's reflect for a moment. Both of our boys went undrafted, and now they both re-signed with a team that they love and are together playing the sport that they love. I mean, can you believe that?
It's crazy.
I'm thinking about our text messages that we had the other day about Fred and Khem's chemistry together now.
It is fun to watch. And I love, it's like really unfolding right before everyone's eyes. And it's so fun. And every game, I feel like they just are finding each other more and more.
Yeah. And you know what? And that takes time, right? As players develop and they gel together. So to me, I just can't wait to see what's to come with that, with their dynamic. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yes. Yep.
Again, when we reflect, when you look back at draft night, where did you think his career would end up?
I wasn't sure. Like, I knew with his tenacity and his passion that he was going to find his way in somehow.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't know that it would be like in this manner. Like, so early in his career, you're already an NBA champion.
Yeah.
And now, you are the veteran on a team of young players. And for some people, that doesn't happen at all. And in others, it takes, 5-10 years in.
Right.
And here we are.
That is so true. So good for Fred, because he bet on himself, right?
Yes. Yeah. And Seth looks like he's really having fun now. Like, he looks like he's really enjoying himself. When he joined us in Tampa, it was a brand new team, and he didn't look like he wasn't as comfortable as he is now.
Yeah, that is
true. And it shows.
Yeah. No, but you see now that they're all comfortable together, or they're getting comfortable together, right? I mean, you have the rookies that are coming in and they're learning, and then you have, like, you know what I mean, like the Spicy P who just returned, you know what I mean?
Have to come back, right?
Yes. So I believe there's going to be a whole other team coming up, man.
I do too, and I'm excited to watch it all unfold.
Yep. And that is, anyway. So our new season has begun. What are your hopes for the team, other than wins, of course?
I hope that they can continue to just build that camaraderie between all of them.
Yeah.
Like, they look like they really, truly like each other.
Yeah.
and that they're having fun together. And I hope that like that continues. It's a long season, and
it is.
you know, anything can happen. And I just feel like they're so young and they have all this energy. And I'm just excited to watch the journey this year.
We're at the beginning of the season. We have a long season left with us. So I'm just wishing our boys all the best.
And that everyone is healthy. And
yeah. I mean, to me, whether they win a game or lose a game, at the end of the day, they're still who they are.
Correct.
You know what I mean? Sometimes I tell Khem, leave that on the court now. It's over.
Right.
Even the win, just leave it, you know what I mean? And now be you. Just be you.
Yes.
So as usual, this was so much fun, Sue.
It was a great
but before we go, what is one thing that you would like to say to the Raptors fans?
Oh man. I appreciate all of you and the energy that you bring to each game. And these guys really, really missed it last year.
Yeah, me too. I just want to tell them thank you. You know what I mean? Thank you for not giving up.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Thank you for coming tenfold now. You know what I mean? Like now they're back and they're really back. Like when I was approaching the arena the other night, I was standing at the corner and I was just watching people run in, and I just loved their excitement and their passion for the team. You know what I mean? So it's not only the players, it's like the fans just like, you guys haven't been here in months and months and months. You know what I mean? Where some people just gave up and says, oh, okay, they'll come back. And then they moved on to different things. It's normal, right? Out of sight, out of mind.
True, the fans, like they are so excited to be out of the house, seeing them in person, and it just like, you can just feel it in the air. It's like an electricity that runs through the building.
Absolutely. I mean, to me, to the fans, love you guys. Like we say, we the North. Yes. And with that said, Sue, you are fantastic. I love speaking to you. I love when we text. I love when we're at games. It's just the energy.
I am so grateful for that day that you reached out to me.
Absolutely. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, like you were just saying, you want the guys to develop a camaraderie. And for me, this is what the moms have to do. Yep. Absolutely.
Because we're all going through the same thing.
Absolutely. So we're going to make it our mission to find the other Raptors moms. Yes. A mom's tree. That's right. So we're going to find these women, and one day we're all going to just sit and hang out together.
That would be amazing. Yep.
Yes. Yeah. So let's make that happen.
Okay.
So thank you so much for coming back on Courtside Moms and talking about Fred and what's been going on with him lately. I mean, everybody loves Fred, so it's always nice to get updates and just to see where they're at and what's going on and where they're headed. So, yes, and we'll talk very soon.
Okay.
Thank you, Sue.
Thank you.
Follow us on social media at Courtside Moms, and make sure you subscribe to the podcast.